Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Guilty as Charged podcast. The NFL decided to be greedy and not give us all 22 for some reason. So, what do you do when you're a Chinese guy like me? You record a bootleg version and upload it to the internet. So that's what I did here at their scrimmage. I recorded all the first team reps and I wanted to break them down. And if you want a full breakdown of the first team offense versus first team defense, I have an article that I have 38 plays broken down in the description. I'll link that in the description, and so you guys can check it out if you want. And I'll be pulling certain things from that article moving forward as we try to figure out, what's this offense going to look like? This is it, right? We're not going to see the first team all together again until week 1 against the Washington football team, right? We see a couple of starters here and there. We saw Slater for a drive, right? We didn't see, Keenan Allen. We saw a little bit of Jalen Guyton, but for the most part, we're not going to see any of these guys for another few weeks. So, how do we figure out what's going on? This scrimmage. I think this scrimmage will tell us the most. At least we can gain the most from this because this is true live reps in a stadium, first team offense versus first team defense. And, I want to talk about different players at different points, but today it's all about Justin Herbert and the offense because he was sensational. And it's more than just, he threw the 80-yard bomb, threw the 60-yard bomb. It's none of that, really. It's actually the way that he was able to carry this offense, not dink and dunk necessarily, but just death by 1,000 paper cuts, for a guy that has that arm talent to throw it as far as he does. He also is a very smart quarterback. And you'll see at different points here, he makes the smart decisions, whether it's, picking between a high or low option or, there's pressure incoming. And so he has to find the hot route and whatnot. You'll see that Justin Herbert is just very, very smart. And they're letting him make the smart decisions very quickly because he is that smart and also just that freaking talented. Right? When you're that smart and your arm is that talented, that's a dangerous combination. That's why, aside from Keenan Allen not making it to a certain spot on an out route because Samuel Jr. disrupted him, Herbert would have started like 16 for 16 in this scrimmage against Brandon Staley's defense. I mean, crazy. So let's talk about it. So one of the things I want to talk about first is their use of Herbert on bootlegs in play action and whatnot. And they work a lot of that play action outside of or with outside zone strong lead. And if you saw my sort of recent article about outside zone strong lead, you'll see kind of the breakdown. But generally, basically, outside zone, right? Like we know the Chargers are running that. They're kind of adopting the 49ers Shanahan system, if you will. It's lead because of the fullback, and then strong because they're going to the strong side where the tight end is. In this case, it's Parham. And, running back runs, yada, yada, yada. But what you see them do a lot in these scenarios, and in a lot of these a lot of these outside zone scenarios, is they have Herbert bootleg anyway. They have him bootleg this way or whatever, to do a couple of things. One, to sort of establish that look, that feel of that eventual play action. And two, it's also to keep this defender here, if they're running this way and he bootlegs this way, is to keep this defender honest. It actually helps them win the numbers game because if Herbert bootlegs this way, this edge defender has to account for him. And I mean, if Herbert hands the ball off, he's just going to stand there. The edge defender is just going to stand there, right? But he does still have to keep the offense honest by, standing there and accounting for Herbert, which does help them win the numbers game because now you have a lame duck edge defender here, right? So that helps them quite a bit. But they also sometimes like to have Herbert keep it and throw it. So we're going to get into that here. You're going to see the outside zone play action bootleg this way. And what you've seen, even in the mic'd up with Shane Day, is they've been working on with Herbert, right? Bootleg. And look, you're one-on-one with this edge defender. He is free. He is free, and he's going to come after you. As soon as he sees you keep it, he's going to come after you. You have a half second to throw it, get rid of it, and find your guy, right? So they've been working on that a lot in practice. You can see that in the mic'd up with Shane Day. Let's see how it plays out here. So we'll play the full play first. Right. Like I said, it's not, amazing, crazy big gains, right? But on first down, if you pick up 4, that's very efficient, right? You only need, 3.4 yards per play to pick up a first down if you run 3 plays. So picking up 4, right? You're always going to be ahead of the down and distance and putting yourself in good situations. So, first down, there's an opportunity for him to maybe hit Allen here, but I still think that if you watch look at the breakdown and then watch some of this film, you can tell that, Herbert will have his moments to launch it, right? And there are a couple of points in this game where he does launch it, but, also be aware that taking the 4-yard, the 5-yard gain is okay. It's actually really good, right? It keeps us positive, keeps the defense on the field, lets our defense rest, right? This drive took a very, very long time. So another thing you'll notice is that the Chargers seem to always have two options for Herbert, especially on play action. One is the underneath sort of option, and two is a more intermediate option. Tends not to be any like high-low option. It's kind of more like low intermediate, if you will, but still lets Herbert pick. And again, he has such a short amount of time, right? He just finishes here, just now sees the edge defender, and is just now finding his targets, throw fire. That's a very short time. Oops, sorry about that. A very short time he has to figure that out. But again, Herbert's a smart quarterback. You let him make those decisions, and he makes the decision there. So yeah, a lot of things to note from here. Watch how much they bootleg, watch how much he immediately throws, watch the kind of the parallel route concept, that low intermediate, sometimes high-low sort of concept, etc. Also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Rashawn Slater right here versus Jerry Tillery. First battle of first round picks goes in favor of Slater. So a lot of good things here, right? Okay. Next one here, same thing, more play action. And Herbert just has so much talent. You let him bootleg, move the pocket, whatever, buy himself some time. And this receiving core is so talented, or at least so different, that you can exploit the weakness. And unfortunately, in this game, it was Asante Samuel Jr. So they're going to exploit him here, and we'll show that in just a second. Oops, sorry about that. So we're going to have them run play action again. And I'll show another thing that they're doing here that I'll talk about in just a second. How did I do that again? What did I get for not embedding the video? Okay, so again, play action, right? And just find the open guy. Now, it's actually pretty well covered by the defense until Samuel Jr., I think, kind of messes up here, right? Because he's got him here, right? He knows he has help inside from Derwin James. He's got the outside here. So, of course, Samuel Jr. should be worried about here. James should be worried about here. And for whatever reason, Samuel Jr. decides to get in front of Williams and eventually gets stuck on the inside of Williams. And Williams gets an easy touchdown here, right? So it's kind of broken coverage by the defense, but still, Herbert is pretty much on this. Like, he's already setting and getting ready to throw because he knows, right? He's figured out right here that he knows that Williams is about to get open, right? And then just that little extra movement to the side to just give himself enough time as this defender's getting to him. Throw it to Williams, touchdown. Love it. So one of the things that you may have not have noticed on the first go is the slide route. Now, the slide route, as far as I'm understanding it, is a flat route out of the backfield where the tight end, I believe it's usually a tight end, runs behind the line of scrimmage and then runs a flat route here. So let's let that play out real fast. And in some ways, that same kind of low intermediate, if you will, right? You got a guy here, you got a guy here. Let Herbert pick the open option, okay? So you see them run the same thing here, and I've seen them run this multiple times in practice. The slide route is built into a lot of their concepts. And one of the things that they do that I kind of enjoy watching the most is watching them have Jalen Guyton run pre-snap motion first, and then have the slide route follow after that. Sometimes it's just regular passes, sometimes it's play action. But once you see Jalen Guyton running this way, right, it tends to be followed by a slide route, right? So you'll see here, Jalen Guyton runs, right? There's him. And then as soon as you see the tight end, right, as soon as he goes, there goes the tight end on the slide route and gives you those options. Now, Herbert has two options here, and on different points, he exploits at different points in either in practice or during the scrimmage, he exploits one of the two options. It's either that slide route, right, the tight end in the flat, or it's deep to Jalen Guyton. And the next play, he does get the ball to Guyton on the next play. We're not going to show that one. But actually, I don't even have that one because Murray got hurt on this play, so I missed it. But yeah, he's going to go for the slide route here. And again, it's 1st and 10. Right, he clutches. He wants to go to Guyton, but instead he just takes the nice short gain. Murray pushes Cook out of bounds, gets hurt on that play. Unfortunately, this is the play where Murray gets hurt. But still a nice little gain. And you'll see the Chargers run that a lot. Okay, so this one, now when the Chargers are in these third down situations, if you will, or maybe not, typically not on first. Okay, so on 1st and 10, if their DB is playing a decent amount off the receiver and they feel that that one-on-one is a true one-on-one and that one-on-one can win, typically Keenan Allen or Mike Williams, they target that DB, they target the receiver that's over there on 1st down to give them the nice 6-yard, 7-yard gain. They did that in the first play of the scrimmage with Mike Williams on the comeback route. In this case, they also do the same thing, something similar on 3rd down and short, especially right now when it's 3rd and 2. So right now, Guyton is here, Samuel Jr. is here. They're 10 yards off. Herbert already knows this. You're going to see just how quickly he gets the ball to Guyton. Guyton's just running a quick out. Samuel Jr. is 10 yards off and they need 2 yards. That's easy math, right? So we have it here. Immediately throws to Guyton. Right? Piece of cake. Easy 1st down. And it seems so simple. And it is. But that's the part that makes it work, right? It's simple. Let Herbert figure it out. Find the open guy. And that's why he was so efficient during this entire game. So you're going to see the Chargers do that a lot. On 1st down, if it's a true one-on-one, they're going to try to target Mike Williams or Keenan Allen. On 3rd and short, if the DB is playing off and significantly off enough where you only need 2 yards and he's off by 10 yards, you're going to go right to him. And I believe Samuel Jr. gave the 3rd down in the preseason game, if you will, I believe, because he was playing off like this as well. And so McVay exploited the same thing. Another one here. This is just, I just really like this one because, hey, Justin Herbert, Harry's pretty good under pressure, right? And it is kind of a risky blitz by Staley. I liked some of his blitzes with Tranquil or White or Murray more, or Neiman and Ogbongbemiga, those linebacker blitzes. But he does try to blitz with other guys as well. And this particular play, it's going to be Chris Harris Jr. He's going to have him blitz over here. Now, again, it seems so simple, right? But you watch Jared Goff against the Dolphins struggle with this, I think, 2 or 3 times during that game, right? Where there's an open receiver because one guy is blitzing. So there's a free guy coming at you. There's a guy wide open. Can you process that fast enough, not panic, and find the open guy? It's hard for some quarterbacks. For Justin Herbert, it's no problem. So Guyton's here. Harris is here. Get it out. Boom. I don't know if that was a 1st down. I think it was, they gave him 3 yards, or excuse me, they were 1 yard away from the 1st down, but still, nice, easy completion. Get really close to that 1st down. Try to move the chains. Piece of cake. But you're going to see the Chargers do that, obviously, right? Okay, last one. I thought this was the most interesting. So the play before this, Joshua Kelly runs for a touchdown out of a basically the same look. They had 2 tight ends. This next play, they had 3 tight ends. Kelly runs in for the touchdown, but because it's a 2-hand touch sort of scrimmage where you can't tackle the guy to the ground, they do mark him down at the 1. So Kelly really would have made it in, but they had to play, or maybe they countered it, but they reset the play because they saw something they liked. And what they liked was that Allen was over here on Davis, and Allen didn't run block on that previous play where Kelly scored. He kind of did a faux slant route sort of thing, if you will, which is fine. Either way, Davis isn't making this tackle if it were a run play, but it was something interesting. And so the next play, what do they go back to? One-on-one, right? And my DB, your DB versus Keenan Allen, odds are Keenan Allen's probably going to win. And I think personally, maybe I'm wrong, but I would think that Keenan Allen one-on-one is a more efficient way to score than, say, Donald Parham running a fade. I would guess, right? And this play is very reminiscent of what they ran against the Bills last year, where Keenan Allen scored. I believe Herbert was in shotgun, and it was either an RPO or play action pass. But in this particular case, he's just going to fire right to Keenan Allen. And they like that look. And why not? You're giving up plenty of space. Allen could go this way. Allen could go this way. It's very difficult to defend. Davis does a pretty good job in coverage, but, it's so hard to guess. And then by the time you guess, Keenan Allen has beaten you. And they do that here. And so I like that they're going to be doing this more. I think they saw this last year against the Bills and thought, hey, I like this look, and let's do it again. right? Because not only can Keenan, like the split second reaction, right? Because listen, these safeties, these linebackers, they're all paying attention. As soon as they see it's a pass, they're getting the hell over here, or they're covered. These guys are all covered. So they're going to go start, invading this space over here. And the window for success is so small, even though Allen is really good, right? Some guys the DB can recover. He can get some help on the inside and so on. But Herbert is so quick and Allen is so quick. And then his arm talent, he's so strong with his arm that he has just that split second that he has, that little window that he has, he makes it work. I have to imagine that's just, I don't want to say impossible to defend, but it really seems like it's impossible to defend. So again, everything that I'm seeing from this offense from Herbert, I'm really liking, right? Just making very, very smart, quick decisions. Is he going to lead the league in, air yards per attempt? I don't think so. Even though he obviously could, they're going to find ways to just take the nice gains, keep the ball moving, right? Keep your defense off the field, keep their defense on the field, be efficient and score, right? Can you be efficient in the intermediate, in the short? Of course, in the deep stuff, we know that Herbert's really good. And so I love everything that I'm seeing. The processing is there. The smarts are there. The creativity on the offense is there. And, the offensive line, even though they kind of got beat up this game, I thought they played okay. Like Lindsley played really, really well. Slater played well in the run game, not as great in the pass game. Balaga, I thought was fantastic. Filer was really, really good too. So I'm very encouraged by what I'm seeing from this Chargers offense. And, if we don't get to see the starters play the rest of the way, I think it's okay. Like, I know that they're going to have to work on installing things in practice. They have some joint practices coming up. They're going to be looking at things they like and don't like, but I do think that they're on a really, really good and consistent, solid trajectory to be, pretty good by the time week 1 rolls around, and they just continue to grow and build. So by the time they get to the end of the year, and hopefully they're looking at the postseason, that they can actually show something and be the best that they could, at least in year 1. And, it'll take some time. I don't expect the Chargers to be amazing right out of the gate. Even Drew Brees and Sean Payton, who are both destined for the Hall of Fame, it took them 2 years to finally break that kind of low 20s points per game and break into the 30s. And maybe the Chargers can get there. I think they could with the talent that they have, but it might take some time. But we'll see, because Herbert is, as we saw as early as last season, he's ahead of schedule. So with a good offensive line and a quarterback who can do everything, who's very smart, I think the sky's the limit for this offense, truly. And even though I didn't show you all the big plays, right, that those are built into this offense as well. So it's exciting. I'm really excited. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, check out the full breakdown of the 38 plays in the description. And as always, take care and bolt up.